this video, we're jumping in with our Ultra 60 to cover the canvas menu. So we're going into configuration by following the navigation menu, configuration, canvases. So canvases is a method for us to tie mini-MEs together to create multi-screen productions. This is used heavily where I have an LED pixel pitch that is larger than a single tile of video. i.e., we're working in 1080p 5994 right now. If I had an LED wall that was 2 times 1080p wide, I could leverage the power of the Ultra 60 mini-MEs to tie together and be associated with a canvas. So how would that work? Well, first you have to say which canvas the mini-MEs are associated with. Since there's only 4 mini-MEs, there really doesn't make sense for there to be any more than 2 canvases. If I was running 2 separate double wide monitors, I would only be able to make 2 canvases with 4 mini-MEs. For larger canvases or more of these canvases, I should be looking at the Ultrix Mosaic or Carbonite Ultra Mosaic product lines that we have, where we can do up to 10 1080p tiles or 6 UHD 2160p tiles amongst multiple canvases. So first thing we're going to do is say we want to associate these mini-MEs with our canvas. So we'll go ahead, we'll throw mini-ME 1 and mini-ME, we'll do mini-ME 3 and mini-ME 4. Sure, we're already using 1 and 2 for other things. So the first thing you do is you say that these can be used. Now normally we can place these around, however we haven't defined what our canvas is. These are just video windows. So up here we have to tell it what our canvas is. We can always use layout presets if it makes our life easier by going, for example, 2 by 1. So 2 by 1 will create a canvas of 2 by 1 and put them side to side, but we haven't told it what the pixel pitch is. So to make life some easy math, we're going to go 3840 by 1080. And so now what you're going to see is this is a representation of our LED screen, our LED wall, or it's 2 monitors pushed up together. In the case of monitors pushed up together, that's where we have bezel size. So what's neat about this is here they are being butted up against one another. The concept here is there is no bezel, it's screen to screen. But if there was a physical bezel, and we want to create that window effect, that window frame effect where video moves and it doesn't jump across the screen, but rather travels under the bezel, you would tell it how many pixels of bezel compensation you need, and when you hit the create, it creates a gap. And now it'll look like the video passes under the bezel and compensates for it. Of course, these days, everything's gone to good old bezel-less LED, so we'll go ahead and create our normal item. The other thing you can do for projectors is overlap them if they're projectors. Background DVEs. So background DVEs allow us to associate DVEs with background video so that we can move the video across all of the canvas region, as well as scale video up and down and place it within that canvas region. If we have it off, no DVEs will be allowed, and it will tile the source. So it will repeat the source unless we use the substitution table. With the substitution table, we could associate inputs like a video server or an expression tessera graphics platform, where it knows that separate physical inputs represent separate nodes, one for each of these screens. So if I have a dual output video server that is giving me the left screen and the right screen, for example, a TRIA server even has multi-screen mode, where you can create content that is full raster size, and it puts the left side out channel 1 and the right side out channel 2. That video would then seamlessly show up And it would need DVEs if I wanted a source to scale across the video. So when we turn on background DVEs, this configuration is going to allocate 2 DVEs and reserve them. At any time, if you jump to the status menu, you will see that DVEs are currently being allocated. And now the moment we go and we select a source in the background, because currently it's color black on the canvas, once we select a source, it is going to scale that source across the video. So we'll use the buses tab real quick. We'll head over to our ME bus. We'll go to canvas number 1. And now on our background, because we'll select TRIA A, what's going to happen is our video is now going to scale. So if we jump back over to status menu, now we're going to see that there are DVEs reserved for canvas 1, background 3, and 4 to scale that video. And those are permanently reserved. So even if we switch away, they are not going to be available again because we want to always have them in case we need them and not be tied up somewhere else in the switcher. Coming back to configuration. If we make that selection dynamic instead, now it will free up those DVEs. So the moment we switch away, it will free up those DVEs, but that means somewhere else in the switcher we could use them, they could get reserved, and it can't get them back. So the freedom, allow them to float, or the strictness of, nope, I'm taking these, I'm reserving these, and please do not move them. So now we've set up our canvas. Now we use the canvas control like an ME control, but it scales video across all of it. You also have the ability to follow on a multi-viewer. So here, if we assign canvas 1 to the multi-viewer, it's automatically going to show us the video inside of the multi-viewer. We now can see how that video is being placed, how it's being scaled, and if we had other video sources like Expression Tessera on a key layer, or we start putting DVE boxes on other key layers, we'll have even more. So real quick, let's just head over to the ME buses. We're going to go to a keyer. We're going to go ahead and we're going to set TRIA B, and we're going to put that in key 1 of the canvas as the selection. Of course, if we come over here to the canvas control, we have that same ability. I don't know why I didn't just come here. But here you'll see that the background DVE shows up as a source parameter, unlike a regular ME. So now with the background DVE, we can actually position, so we can scale video. We can even scale it to go over screen height. Then what we can also do is take our Y position, though, and we could have centered that image. So now that video is across the whole screen, but maybe that's not what we wanted today. So this big LED wall, this is how it would show up. So let's go ahead and let's scale this back a little bit. Let's go ahead and throw it over here like it's a little bit off screen. And we can even use a background color. We'll go ahead and put, sure, that would be the background color if we used a background DVE. So there we go. We got the background. That's going. Now we go to key 1, and you'll see that the moment we change this to a DVE key, we have now allocated keyers to those 2 mini MEs that are being used by the canvas for the keyer layer. So it's added 2 more keyers. So we're going to cut that video on. So now we can see the video, we can see it on the screen, and we can start sizing that video for ourselves, and then we can go ahead and we can position that anywhere we want within the screen. Head over to key 1. And then we're going to make sure that border mask is off, shadow lighting, border, and we're going to turn the border off so that we have it. Or we can turn the border on, and then we could apply colors to those. But you get the idea. You kind of have all this flexibility. That's what canvases are used for. It's for running these multi-screen type elements with a little bit fewer keyers than you'll find in a mosaic and fewer tiles in a mosaic. But you can choose to use some of your resources for this functionality instead. So coming over to that configuration page, you do have the ability to create those two canvases because I could apply a second set of canvases or a second set of mini-MEs to that second canvas and then set it up independent of canvas number 1. Questions? Requests? Suggestions? If you have any of those, please send them to switchers@rossvideo.com and we'll try to get to them in either an email or a video. As always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.